So in the last verse we saw about Vaikuntha personality, Vaikuntha men. So this verse Brahma is explaining about Vaikuntha women. He is saying Shri Rupini Kvanayati Charanarvindam. Shri Rupini. All the women in Vaikuntha, they are almost like goddess of fortune. Shri Rupini. They can be compared with Lakshmi Devi. Kvanayati Charanarvindam. When they walk, the ankle bells, they make a tinkling sound. Leelambujena. In their hands there are lotus flowers. They play with lotus flowers. Hari Sadmani Mukta Doshaha. Where are they playing all these things? They are in the Vaikuntha, the abode of the Lord. Hari Sadmani, the house of the Lord. And their qualification, they are Mukta Doshaha. They are free from all material contamination. In Vaikuntha, there is no chance of tinge of material perspectives. So they are free from all material contaminations. Samlakshate Spatika Kudya Upeta Hemni. Samlakshate, they are seen sometimes. They become visible. Spatika Kudyaha, the house, the residence of the Vaikuntha, or the walls are made of marble. And Upeta Hemni, here and there are golden decorations and golden borders and all onto that walls. So what are these women doing in that house, which is a luxurious house? Sammarjita iva, they are mopping the floors. Sammarjita, like how every morning we clean the floor. So they are also cleaning the floors of Vaikuntha, the house of the Lord. For what purpose? Yad anugrahane yanyatnaha. They wanted the mercy of the Lord to be identified for them. And where rest of the people in the material world, they are trying to draw the attention of Lakshmi Devi by other endeavors. So in the material world, everybody wants the favor of Lakshmi Devi, and Lakshmi Devi is wanting the favor of Narayana. So in the purport, Prabhupada is explaining about are there only one Lakshmi Devi in the Vaikuntha? There are millions and millions of Vaikuntha, Lakshmi Devis. So Prabhupada is quoting that Brahma Samhita verse where it says, Lakshmi Sahasrata Shandrama Shevyamanu. So there are Shata Sambrama, Shata Sahasra, thousands and thousands. But they are all not exactly like Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of fortune, but they are all devotees' wives. And everybody wants to serve the Lord, like how devotees are also serving the Lord. So devotees' wives also want to serve the Lord, because the attitude is only devotional service. There is no other intention there. Everybody wants the Lord as a center. Everybody wants to engage in the service of the Lord. The ladies, they are always engaged in dusting the marble walls. The reason is that they were eager to achieve the grace of the Lord by doing so. So, see what happens when we dust or when we accept a menial service, we are trying to let go our false ego. So, that is the primary reason when a devotee joins in the ashram. The first thing is he is asked to do menial services. So that their ego, whatever we are coming from, I may be so and so, I have educated, I had worked here and there, that has to be reduced. So when we do these menial services, we come to the normal platform, we come to the realistic platform, that I am a servant of the Lord. That awakens, that feature awakens within us, that knowledge awakens within us. Men of Ravana class want Lakshmi only without her husband Narayana, therefore they become unsteady due to Lakshmi Devi. So one of the name of Lakshmi Devi is Shanchala. She does not stay at one place because she has to satisfy many devotees. She keeps moving here and there. So that's why we see a richest man become a pauper and the poorest man become a richest man. So materialistic persons find fault on the part of Lakshmi, but in Vaikuntha, Lakshmi is fixed on the service of the lotus feet of the Lord. So what is that materialistic persons find fault? So sometimes they are very rich, and Lakshmi Devi, because of money, they become arrogant and they become proud and they lose all the opulences. So they blame Lakshmi Devi because you have not given me proper intelligence to maintain. The problem is with Lakshmi Devi or with us. But people simply blame others. Whenever the problem happens, we are not ready to accept the mistake. We simply pass on the mistake on others. That's why attitude of materialistic people. Even the goddess of fortune needs Lord's grace in order to be happy. So, Lakshmi Devi is also always aspiring to have the grace of the Lord. So, the same mood was exhibited by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he was in the ecstatic state. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is always in the mood of Radharani. The separation of gopis what he was experiencing from Krishna. So the ecstatic feelings were that of Vipralamba Seva in the highest order. So in the Antilila, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, while he was explaining the Shikshastaka, the last verse, where he is pouring out his emotions fully. So in that context wise, he explains the mood of gopis, the mood of Radharani, the queens of Vrindavan, the queens of Dwaraka and all, by giving various quotations. We'll try to understand that today, how the mentality of the women devotees will be. Krishnera prayasi vraje yata gopi gana. All the beloved girlfriends of Lord Krishna in Vrindavana, there are many. Yata gopi gana. Yanra padaduli kare Uddhava prarthana. When Uddhava was sent to Vrindavana on behalf of the Lord to pacify the gopis, by seeing their intrinsic devotion and their ecstasy, he became so much carried away by their emotion that he wanted the dust of the lotus feet of the gopis on his head. So, Yanra padaduli kare Uddhava prarthana. So, Uddhava is always praying to have the dust of the lotus feet of the gopis on his head. Yandra sabara upare Krishnera priya nahi ana. So there is nobody else as dear to them, to Krishna, than the gopis of Vrindavana. Tanhara apanake kari dasi abhimana. But all of them regard themselves as Krishna's maid servants. So they all the gopis, they experience themselves as the maid servants of Lord Krishna. Vraja jana artihan veera yoshitam nijajana smaya dvamshana smita bhajasake bhavat kinkari smano jala ruhana nam charu darshaya. So the women are praying. Vraja jana artihan, oh one who removes the affliction or infliction or the distress of women of Vraja. Oh veera yoshitam, oh hero among the women. Nijajana smaya dvamsha smita, who destroy the pride of your devotees by your sweet, gentle smile. O Sake, O my dear friend, Bhaja bhavat kinkari smanaha, accept us as your dear maid servants. We worship you in that mode, Bhaje. We worship you as your dear maid servants. Jala ruhananam charu darshayaha. Please fulfill our desires and show us your attractive lotus face. Because they always wanted to have darshan of the Lord, that attractive, beautiful smile of the Lord. So, this is a verse, one of the gopis was addressing Uddhava. Apibata madhupuryam aryaputro adunaste. Aryaputraha, the son of Nanda Maharaj. Apibata madhupuryam adiputro adunaste. It is regrettable that Krishna resides in Mathura now. Because after Krishna went away from Vrindavan, he never came back to Vrindavan. So when Uddhava came, the gopis were expressing their feeling. Now Krishna, apibata, it is alas, unfortunate. Now Krishna became accustomed to the luxuries of Dwaraka or Mathura Pate. Smarati sma pitar gehan, does he remember the household activities of his father? Saumya bandhumscha gopan, as he is gentle, oh gentle my dear Uddhava. Bandhumscha, does he remember his relatives? Gopan, his co-head boyfriends. Kvachid apisa katam na kinkarinam grinite. So does he discuss about us at any time? Of us, the maid servants, kinkarinam. Bhujam aguru sugandham murdani adasyat kadanuhu. So when he will lay his hands, which are scented with aguru on our heads, so that which pacifies us. The touch of Krishna will pacify our feelings. So when will he come? When will he lay his hand upon our body with his aguru scented hand, so that all that emotions, all that anxiety will be pacified? We are his dear servants. Does he ever remember us or what? So in that way, the gopis are exhibiting their that viraha bhava. Tan sabara kata rahu, Srimati Radhika, leave off, forget of everybody else. What about Srimati Radhika? Sabha haite sakalamshe parama adika. So in every respect is most elevated to all of them. Tenho yandra dasi hoina sevana charane. Thinking herself as a maid servant, she serves the lotus feet of the Lord. Yandra prema gude Krishna baddha anukshana. Krishna becomes bound by her sincere devotion every moment. Anukshana, he is completely bound by her. Always he is bound by the affection of the devotion of Srimati Radhika. And she is praying, Ha Nata Ramana Preshta, Kvasi Kvasi Mahabhuja, Dasyaste Krupanayame, Sake Darshayame Sannidhim. So, Ha Nata, oh my dear Lord, oh Ramana, oh my dear husband, oh Preshta, oh most dearly beloved one, oh Mahabhuja, oh mighty armed Lord, Kva Asi, where are you, where are you? Oh Sake, oh my dear friend, Darshaya Dasyaste, please reveal yourself to this maid servant. Krupanayame Sannidhim, we are very much aggrieved by your absence. So when Krishna vanished in the Rasa dance, so the gopis were feeling in that mood. Dwarakate Rukmini Adi Yateka Mahishi, Tanharao Apanake Mane Krishna Dasi. What to speak of the gopis of Vrindavana? What to speak of Radharani of Vrindavana? Even Dwarakate, Rukmini Adi, Yateka, Mahishi, all the queens, starting from Rukmini Devi, Tanharao Apanake Mane Krishna Dasi, they all feel themselves as the servants of Krishna, maid servants of Krishna. So, this is in context, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is quoting, when all the queens went to Hastinapura during Rajasuya sacrifice. So, they were all discussing with Draupadi Devi. So, Draupadi Devi, how she was able to serve her 5 husbands so nicely. And all the queens were exhibiting, like they were saying how they got connected with the Lord or how they feel about the Lord to them. So, this is Jambavati Uvacha. So, Jambavati is saying, Prajnaya Dehakrit Amam Nijanata Daivam. So, Prajnaya, one who was unaware of what? Amam Nijanata Daivam. He is none other than his master and worshipable Lord. Sita Patim, and he is the same husband of Mother Sita Devi. Trinavahani Amuna Abhyudhyayat. Trina Ahani. 3 Nava Ahani. For 3 into 9 days, 27 days. Amuna Abhyudhonat. He fought with his own worshipable Lord. Who? Jambavan. For 27 nights, 27 days he was fighting with Jambavan. Jambavan was fighting with Lord Krishna, who was Sita Patim, the same Lord Ramachandra who has come as Lord Krishna. Prajnaya, unaware that he is the same Supreme Lord, he was his master. He was fighting with him for 27 days. Jnatva parikshata upaharad arhanam mam. Then he could understand Jnatva, parikshita, with intrinsic observation, he could understand that it was the Supreme Lord, his own dear Lord. Jai Sri Radha Govinda. Then upaharad arhanam mam. Then he offered me for his mistake at his lotus feet. Pado pragrihya, catching on to his lotus feet. Manina aham amushya dashi. So then, along with me, that Shemantaka jewel which he had brought, so he offered me and Shemantaka jewel at the lotus feet of the Lord. Now, amushya dashi, amum, I feel his maid servant. Then, Kalindi Uvacha, Tapascharantim Ajnaya, Swapada Sparshanashaya, Sakyo Upetya Agrahit Panim, Yoham Tad Grahamarjini. So he is saying, Tapascharantim Ajnaya, I was performing severe austerities and penances. Then Lord knew me that I was doing severe penances to attain him. That Swapada Sparshanaya Ashaya, with a desire that one day I will be able to touch the lotus feet of the Lord. Swapada Sparshana Ashaya. Then Sakaya Upetya, he came with his dear friend Arjuna, and Agrahit Panim, he accepted my hand in marriage. Now, Yoham Tad Graha Marjani, today I am maid servant in his house. So this is Kalindi is expressing her mood. Then Mitravenda, Yomam Swayamvara Upetya Vijitya Bahupan, Ninye Swayutagam Ivatma Balim Dviparihi, Bratram Shame Apakrurataha Swapuram Shri Yuktas, Tasyastu me Anubhavam Angri Avajnatvam. He is saying, Yomam Swayamvare, at my Swayamvara practice or at my Swayamvara competition, Upetya, he came forward, Vijitya Bhupan, he defeated all the kings assembled there, Brataran Shame, including my own brothers, Apakrurataha, who dared to insult him, and Ninye Dvi Arihi, like a lion, he took me away. Swayutagam Ivatma Balim, like when dogs try to attack a meat, lion comes there, drives away all the dogs and he takes away his food. Similarly, all these kings and my brothers, they tried to insult the Lord, but Lord drew them everybody and took away me as his share. Shriya Yuktaha, that Supreme Lord, whose goddess of fortune is who is the shelter of goddess of fortune, Swapuram, he brought me to his own capital. Tasyastu me Angri Avajnayatvam, may I be allowed to serve him by washing his feet. Anubhavam, life after life. Let me be his maid servant, simply keep washing his lotus feet life after life. So this is the mood of Mitravenda. Then Satya Vacha, Saptokshani Atibala Virya Sutikshna Shringan. There were 7 bulls which are unpierced in their mouths. Suviraha, they are very fierce. Atibala Viryaha, they are very strong and very ferocious. Shrungan, with very strong horns. Pitra Kritan Kshipita Virya Parikshanaya. My father Pitra Kritan, he had executed this test. Kshapita Virya Parikshanaya, to test all the kings who come there, that they are able to simultaneously bring these 7 bulls under control. Tan Virya Durmadahana Tarasa Nigrahya Kridan Babandaya Yata Shishavo Ajatokan. The Lord easily, simultaneously subdued all these 7 bulls. Like children, they play with small goats, baby goats. So they bring them under control. The Lord brought all these ferocious bulls under control, like children play with goats' children. Ajatokan. Aja means a goat, tokan means the children, the small kiddos of goat. Ya ittam virya sulkam mam, my father gave huge dowry along with me. Dasibis chaturanginam, and he gave many maid servants and a huge army. Chaturanginam, an Akshohini army with all the 4 balas, Gajabala, Horse Bala, Ratha Bala, Sainya Bala. These are called as Chaturangini. So the army consists of these 4 categories of divisions. Pati Nirjitya Rajanyan, on the way all the kings again tried to disturb the Lord. So Lord conquered all the kings on the way. Ninye tad dasyam astume, and he brought me to his capital. Tad dasyam astume, let me given the privilege of serving that Lord at his lotus feet. So this is Satya Vacha. Then Bhadra Vacha. Pitame Matuleyaya, my father, who is the maternal uncle, Swayam Ahuhya Dattavan, he invited the maternal cousin to offer me unto him. Krishne Krishnaya Tat Chittam Akshunya Saki Janaihi, to whom I had already dedicated my heart, Tat Chittam, and Dattavan, he offered me as a bride to him. Akshohinya, with an Akshohini military army, and Saki Janaihi, with a retinue of my female companions. Ena tak shreya atmanaha, my ultimate perfection in this life is Asya me pada samsprashto bhave, that I will be able to touch the lotus feet of the Lord. Or Brahmyamana Janmani Janmani, as I wander in life after life, karma bihi, bound by my karma, I only aspire that one day I will be able to touch the lotus feet of the Lord and engage in His service. This is Bhadra saying. So in conclusion, all the 16,000 queens are also communicated by saying, Atma aramasya tasyema vayam vai gruhadashikaihi sarvasanga nivrutyadya tapasacha babuvima. Nivritya sarvasanga adha, by renouncing all material association, and tapasa, by engaging in practicing in severe austerities, vayam babuvima vai, we kings, we all became grihadasikaha, the maid servants of his house. Atma aramasya tasyimaha, of whom the supreme self-satisfied Lord, who is always self-satisfied. He does not require any service. But still, He accepts our service in the form of our devotion. The Lord is not hungry, but still He accepts the Naivedya to be merciful to us, so that by eating that prasadam, we become purified of the consciousness. So it is His extreme mercy upon the living entities. Not that He is struggling or deprived for food, He is hungry, nobody is there to feed Him, He had to struggle hard to maintain Himself. That all these things does not exist in the Lord. So again, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came back, he is saying after explaining all these verses, Krishna udasina haila karite parikshana saki sabakahe Krishna kare upekshana. So they are thinking, Krishna has become indifferent to us just to test my love. Oh my dear friends, better to disregard him. Yateka chintite radhara nirmala hrudaya swabhavika premera swabhava karila hrudaya. While Radharani was thinking on that way, the characteristics of natural love became manifested within her pure heart. Irsha utkanta dainya praudi vinaya eta bhava ekatani karila udaya. So simultaneously all these symptoms awakened within her: Irsha, envy; Outkantya, great eagerness; Dainya, humility; Praudi, zeal; and Vinaya, supplication. All these became manifest at once. Eta bhava radhera mana asira hoila. By all these emotions, her mind became disturbed. Sakigana age prouda shloka ye padila. Then she spoke a verse of advanced devotion to her gopi friends. Sei bhave Prabhu, sei shloka ucharila. Shloka ucharite tadrupa apane hoila. The same spirit Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recited that verse, and as soon as he did so, he felt like Srimati Radharani. Ashlishyava padaratam pinastumam adarshanan marmahatan karotuva yata tatava vidadatu lampato matprana nadastu sayeva naparaha. So he says, Ashlishyava padaratam, either he embraces me, or adarshanan marmahatan, by not appearing to me, so he forsakes me. Yata tatava vidadatu lampato. In either way, he is my dear Lord. Matprana nadastu sayeva naparaha. But still, no one else is more worshipable than the Supreme Lord. He is the dear Lord of my heart. Either he embraces me or he rejects me. He is always the Lord of my heart. Ami Krishna padadasi tenho rasa sukarasi. I am the servant of Lord Krishna, and he is the reservoir of all the pleasures. Alingya kare atma sata. Either he embraces me as his dear one. Kibana deya darshana, or he may not give me darshana. Jarena mora tanumana. Then he may corrode my body and my mind. Tabu tenho mora prananada. He will always be my worshipable Lord. Saki he suna mora manera nishya. Please hear the determination of my mind. Kiba anuraga kare, kiba dukkha diya mare. So sometimes he loves me, sometimes he kills me by giving me unhappiness. Chadi anya nari gana mora vasha tanu mana mora saubhagya prakata kariya. Sometimes Krishna gives up the company of other gopis and becomes controlled mind and body by me. Tasabara dheya pida amasane kare krida se nari gane dikana. Thus he manifests my good fortune and gives others distress by performing his loving affairs with me. Kiba tenho lampata shata drasta sakapata anya nari gana kari shata. Or since after all he is very cunning, obstinate, with a propensity to cheat, he takes to the company of other women. Mora dite manah pida, mora age kare krida, tabu tenho mora prananada. He then indulges in loving affairs with others in front of me to give distress to my mind. Nevertheless, he is always the Lord of my life. Like sometimes he will give me attention, then other gopis will be crying. Sometimes he will be attending to other gopis, then I have to cry. But still, the Lord is always my dear Lord. Nagani apana dukkha, sabe vanchi tara sukha, tandra sukha amara tatparya, mora yedi diya dukkha, tandra haila mahasukha, sei dukkha mora sukhavarya. So he is saying, Nagani apana dukkha. I do not take my personal distress. I do not count at all. Sabe vanchi tara sukha. I always wish for his happiness. Tandra sukha amara tatparya. For his happiness is goal of my life. Mora yedi diya dukkha. If he gives me distress, tandra hoila mahasukha. And if he becomes happy by that giving me distress, sei dukkha mora sukhavarya. And that distress is the best of my happiness. Ye narira vanche Krishna, tara rupa satrishna, tare na pana hoya dukkha. If Krishna wants to, if Krishna is attracted by beauty of some other woman and wants to enjoy with her, but he is unhappy because he could not get her, muitara paya padi, I will fall at her feet. Lana yana hate dari, I will catch hold of her hand and bring her to Krishna. Krida karana tandre karon sukhi, so that I will try to be happy when Krishna enjoys with her. Kanta Krishna kare rosha, Krishna paya santosha, sukha paya tadana brachane. When a beloved gopi shows symptoms of anger towards Krishna, Krishna is very satisfied. Indeed, he is extremely pleased when someone chastises him. Yata yogya kare mana, Krishna tate sukapana, chade mana alpa sadhana. She shows her pride suitably and Krishna enjoys that attitude. Then she gives up her pride with a little endeavor. Senari jiye kena, Krishna marma vyata jane, tabu Krishna kare gada rosha. Why does a woman continue to live who knows that Krishna's heart is unhappy, but who still shows her deep anger towards him? Nijasuka mane kaja, paduka tara shire vaja, Krishnera matra chahiye santosha. She is interested in her own happiness. I condemn such a woman to be struck on the head with a thunderbolt, for we simply want the happiness of Krishna. Ye gopi mora kare dvesha, Krishnera kare santosha, Krishna yara kare abhilasha, mui tara gare yana, tara sevon dasi hona, tabe mora sukera ullasa. So, ye gopi mora kare dvesha, if some gopi is envious of me, Krishnera kare santosha, if she is able to make Krishna happy, Krishna yara kare abhilasha, and Krishna desires her. Mui tara gare yana, I will go to her house. Tara sevon dasi hona, I will become maid servant of her. Tabe mora sukera ullasa, then my mind will be most happy. Krishna mora jivana, Krishna mora pranadana. Krishna is my jivana, my life. And Krishna mora pranadana, he is my treasure of my heart. Krishna mora pranera parana, and he is the Lord of my, then he is the very life of my life. Hrudaya upare daron, seva kari sukha karon. I will place him in my heart and I will serve him to the fullest extent. E mora sade rahay dhyana, and this should be my always meditation. Mora sukha sevana, Krishnera sukha sangama. So my happiness is in service and Krishna's happiness is in association. Ateva deha dena dhana. So I give my body in his charity. Krishna mora kanta kari, kahe mora praneshwari, mora haya dasi abhimana. When Krishna calls me, my dear praneshwari, oh my dear beloved, mora haya dasi abhimana, I become the mood of a maid servant. Kanta seva sukapura, sangama hoite sumudara, tate sakshmi lakshmi takurani. The service to my lover is the home of happiness and is more sweeter than direct union with him. And the example or the evidence of this is Srimati Lakshmi Devi. Narayana Hriti Sthiti, always she stays in the heart of Narayana. Tabu Pada Sevayaya Marti, she always engages in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord. Seva Kare Dasa Abhimani. So even she feels she herself as a dasi of the Lord. She is always massaging the lotus feet of the Lord. E Radha Vachina Vishuddha Prema Lakshana. These are the talks of Radharani, are symptoms of ecstatic love of Vishuddha Seva, Vishuddha Prema Lakshana. Aswadiye Sri Gauraraya, which were all experienced by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Bhavamana Nahi Stira, Satvika Vyapa Sharira, Mana Deha Dharana Nayaya. So when these emotions overtook Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he could not control himself, he became restless. His entire body was transformations out of ecstasy. And he could not sustain his body and mind. Vrajera Vishuddha Prema, Yena Jambu Nada Hema. So the love of Godhead are like particles of gold in the Jambu Nadi. Atma Sukera Yaha Nahi Ganda, where there is not even a trace of sense gratification or personal enjoyment in that. Se Prema Janate Loke, Prabhu Kaila Esh Loke. So that the whole world knows about the love, what Radharani experiences, the Gopi experiences. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed us through his emotions. Pada Kaila Artera Nirbandha. So this was the verse which was composed explaining the meaning, in which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted the whole world, what were the feelings of all the queens, all the gopis, all the Radharani, so that we could all understand how the women in Vaikunta, they feel always to serve the Lord. When somebody else become dear, they do not become envious of them. There is competition, but in a positive way competition. They are serving the Lord, they have become attraction to the Lord. So we are very happy, because by their service they attracted the Lord. I should also serve nicely so that I become attracted to the Lord also. The material world is ulta. If somebody is doing very nice service, we will try to pull him down. I can't do, so others can't do. That is a contrast between material world and spiritual world. So that is the perspective here. And one small point, very soon, the Ramana perspective was also explained. Dashara is coming, Vijayotsava. It is called, on that day, Lord Ramachandra conquered Ravana. So the war was so severe that the last army, what was left, because all his associates were killed, Kumbhakarna, then Indrajit, and major, all his commander-in-chiefs were all killed. It was only Ravana who was left over. So it said that Ravana came with his emergency army. What was that emergency army of Ravana? It was 36,000 Maha Auga Akshohini. Mahabharata war, how many Akshohini we had? 18 Akshohini. This is 36,000 Maha Auga Akshohini. Maha Auga means 10 power 72. 36,000, first 36,000 Akshohini also you take. Mahabharata is 18 Akshohini. 36,000 into 10 power 72, that much Akshohini is the emergency army of Ravana. Then people might ask, how so much army can be placed in a small Lanka? Impractical. So Ravana, by his Astasiddhi, he created a space by which, in a minute form, they existed in Ravana's kingdom itself. So whenever required, they come out in huge numbers. So they all came, they fought with Ramachandra's monkey's army. See, the Ravana's army are all equipped with modern day weapons. And monkey's army is equipped with stones, trees, branches, fish, no weapons at all. Only people that are equipped with weapons are Rama and Lakshmana. Next are Vibhishana. At max, everybody is monkeys there. But still, Lord Ramachandra, because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by his abilities and by his capacities, he destroyed the entire Ravana's army. He killed Ravana. So the fighting was happening, Ravana came on his chariot, which will be flying in the air everywhere. So at that time, thinking that the climax it has come, so Indra had sent his chariot with Matali as the driver, so that Lord Ramachandra would compete with him on the same stage. That chariot was filled with all the divine weapons, what and all were required for the service of the Lord Ramachandra. So Matali was driving it so, like, expert personality. So they could counteract all Ravana's moves. So Ramachandra was hitting with so many arrows that one head of Ravana was removed. But they were all sprouting back. That Ravana had that boon. Because there is one Amrita Kalsha in his heart. As soon as that Amrita Kalsha was there, as long as that Amrita Kalsha is there, he will never die. So Ramachandra could understand, but only thing is, he is bringing out the vigor. See, if he kills, Ravana directly. What is the mood in that time? Ravana was very much obsessed with Sita Devi. His mind is filled with Sita only. So Rama was trying to make him anger so that by thinking of Rama, he will forget Sita. So that at the last moment, by thinking of Lord Ramachandra, he will get a better benefit, better destination. So he was trying to invigorate the anger in him. So by hitting, that Ravana became so ferocious. Finally, Lord Ramachandra aimed the arrow, a Brahmastra, which could go directly hit the heart and evaporate all that Amrita which is there within his heart. So that Lord Ramachandra killed Ravana. Ravana was dead. He fell down lake. Then all the queens came there. They started crying. Now it is time for the rituals to be done. Vibhishana was asked to do the rituals. But Vibhishana said, no, I cannot do. But Ramachandra inspired him. It is the duty of one warrior to respect the opposite warrior, whoever it might be. Because he has done on the Dharma Yuddha, he fought the battle. It is his duty to glorify his valor, his strength. So Vibhishana, then he performed all the rituals as per the thing. Then Lord Ramachandra never entered the kingdom of Lanka. All these fightings were happening in the outside battlefield. Then Vibhishana was supposed to be coronated. But Rama could not enter because he had made a promise to Bharata that 14 years I will not enter any kingdom. So Rama could not enter, but Lakshmana was asked to go and do the formalities for Vibhishana. Then Vibhishana came back. So through Vibhishana, message was sent to Sita Devi that the war was over, Ravana was annihilated, and she be brought respectfully, because as a king she was abducted. Now the king is surrendering her to Lord Ramachandra. On behalf of Ravana, the brother was surrendering her. So now she is Maya Sita. So generally when she was brought in front of Lord Ramachandra, they generally in movies and all, a episode was played. A feminism episode is communicated that Ramachandra doubted Sita Devi's character. All men are like that only, they don't trust women at all. So it is played in a different circle. But actually the intention was, Ramachandra knew very early that Ravana is going to kidnap Sita Devi. So he entrusted Sita Devi, original Sita, to Agni Deva, who placed her in Kailasha. So now, since the activity has been finished, the Maya Sita was asked to enter into the fire so that the original Sita comes out. And she goes in the association of Lord Ramachandra, that her separation and her anxiety were all taken care of, that Vipralamba Seva was all taken care. Now Lord Ramachandra, now it is a time, because he had promised in 14 years he will exactly reach back to Ayodhya on that specific day. And Bharata said, if you miss by a few seconds also, I will commit suicide. So then Lord Ramachandra requested Vibhishana, I have to go faster. Then Vibhishana said, take this Pushpaka Vimana. It is ready at your service. But in the meantime, Hanuman was sent much ahead so that inform Bharata not to jump in, not to take any extreme step. So when 14 years time period was over, Bharata was about to enter into the fire. Hanuman comes there and restrains him. No, Lord Ramachandra is coming. Please wait for a few more moments. So in the very faster way, Lord Ramachandra came in the Pushpak Vimana with all the monkey heads, all the commander-in-chiefs who had helped him. And it is said that when the war had finally finished, Lord brought back all the dead people also back to life, it seems. By the grace of the Lord, all the dead monkey warriors were also awakened. Because there are two categories of dead awakened. One, before the Sanjeevani Parvata, and second, after the Sanjeevani Parvata. After the Sanjeevani Parvata, because everybody got up because of that, what is it? Lakshmana was brought back to life. Mruta Sanjeevani. That because of that, not only Lakshmana and all the other monkeys were brought back to life, the people who had died before that was also, by the grace of the Lord, were all brought from Yamasadana. In that assembly, in the Yamasadana, even Dasharatha Maharaj was there, it seems, as an associate of Yamaraj there. So Yamaraj also came here with all his associates, all the demigods came there, Dasharatha Maharaj came there. So Dasharatha Maharaj, seeing the Rama's glory, became very happy, he became very satisfied, and Lord blessed him so that he goes back to Vaikuntha from there. Then Lord came back to Ayodhya. Then Bharata came forward, paid obeisances. Then Lord Ramachandra went forward and he paid obeisance to all his mothers indiscriminately. He did not discriminate, you are my mother, you are the one who sent me to forest. He did not discriminate. So in that way, when Lord Ramachandra arrived in Ayodhya, So that was the day it was celebrated as Deepavali. Deepavali, a light which is spread across the city to invite the Lord for his glorious activity. So in that way, that festival was also celebrated at that time. So remembering the Lord as he finished his 14 years exile and he came back to Ayodhya. So in that way, Lord Ramachandra, at last he reciprocated to all the monkey chiefs with various liberations and various benedictions and liberations. And most of them, he blessed them to go back to their respective Vaikuntha planets. But for Hanuman, he said, no, I cannot bless you. Liberation is insignificant because you have done service with your complete heart, not expecting anything. There are other monkeys who had done service in anticipation of some favor. Phalartha. But Hanuman had rendered service without any phalartha. His motive is only to just serve me with no expectation. So when somebody is serving in that mood, how can I reciprocate? Lord says, I am bereft. Like when gopis serve the Lord, Lord says in Srimad Bhagavatam, Eyatamam prabhadyante, I reciprocate according to their sincerity. But Lord says, I am bankrupt. I cannot repay you back. Be your austerities, be your the solace. Like that, Lord blessed also Hanuman, that he will always be with him in his association. And he was asked to stay in this material world so that he could bless the devotees on behalf of the Lord and remove the obstacles for all his devotees when the demoniac people try to address him and try to disturb him in this material world. So these are the perspectives of Lord Ramachandra's Vijayotsava. We'll stop here. Any questions or doubts? ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंद।